it really helps to not fight any of it, and just to really, really experience, really know, really feel all of it. Like really allow ourselves to know it and not struggle against it, not fight it. Because even when pain arises, we actually don't need to fight the pain. I know this is
No.
hard to say. We don't need to fight pain, because even pain, when it arises, many times our pain is asking for our attention and our love and our feeling. And I like the phrase, we can feel it to heal it, because when we're willing to really sit with what is in us, sit with what's arising, and look square at it without the stories. You don't need all the stories of the thinking mind. Feel what is there. Then it's very liberating, because at first our fear, so we avoid these pains because we're afraid. We have perceptions that we buy into here that are not in alignment with who we really are. So we may buy into the perception of, I am not worthy of love. It's a common one on earth. Or the perception of, I have no power. Or the perception, I am not free. Those are, or I'm shameful. Those are really big common themes on earth. But when we do that, we react in fear, because that's not really who we are. Who we really are is powerful, free. We are joyful spirit itself. So when we buy into a perception that is not in alignment with who we really are, we can experience fear. And we're so resistant to feeling that we lock it away under hundreds of layers of ego and story. And we try to, and then so much of our lives becomes, how do we plug that gap? How do we fill that hole? What thing can I get? What drug can I get? What relationship can I get? Whatever. We seek all the time, rather than fully allowing even our deepest fear and our deepest darkness, if it arises. We don't have to go find it. It will arise. If it's in us, it'll arise at one point or another. And when it does, just being willing to fully feel that and know it. Because so when you do that, it might feel like a tornado, like a windstorm that's going to pick you up and kill you, smash you. It's so painful. It's so fearful. It's so dark. It will just crush me. Well, it will feel like that maybe, but after the tornado picks you up and throws you around and you hit the ground, you realize not only are you still there, you are free now, because now the pain has expressed, and the wind loses its momentum and it can go away. And then it's just peace. And the joy that was always you is what's left. Like joy is always on the other side of that which we fear.
Okay, so this thing with being with the fear, right? So how long do you actually, okay, here is the fear, here's me, right? So how long do you stay with the fear so something transforms? Like how many minutes?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question. Okay, so all right, so I experienced a trauma when I was 22 that was extremely traumatizing for me. And I had post-traumatic stress for 7 or 8 years. And I couldn't even remember my life before the age of 22, really. That's how traumatized I was. So it took me years I went through counseling called EMDR therapy. It's a form of counseling. And I found fear layer after fear after fear, down, 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 down. And every time I found a new fear, I thought, oh, that's got to be the root. That's got to be the real fear. And I'm saying this as a background because it took me years in earth time to go through all these layers, but this is important. At the very bottom, the deepest, darkest, most terrifying fear, I only needed to really feel for a few seconds. But I really needed to feel it.
Right.
But it took years even for my ego to let me find it.
Right.
But then once I found it, it was breathtakingly low vibration, very fearful. But I don't fight it. I just let it. And then after it's known, it's okay. You're there. It's okay. Like your being, I'll put it this way, your consciousness, your being is deeper than the deepest fear.
Right. Wow.
So it doesn't take long. Now, I mean, maybe it'll take more than a few seconds, maybe a couple minutes or something, but it's just about the act of being with it and honoring it and knowing it that can heal it and release it. Now, like I said, the ego covers it up. So it's not like you can just go sit down right now and say, okay, I'm going to go face my deepest fear.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But when you're willing, and when you really are ready to do the work, see, when you're ready to do this, the universe wants to help you, because this is part of what we're doing here. Spirit will help you to heal and to face your crap. And so when you're willing to really own your own issues, they will come up for you as you're able to handle them. You know, like you're the deeper parts of you knows what you can handle now. So you'll get the next idea, which will be maybe very hard. But that's okay. That's a good, important step. And
Right.
it just happens very naturally, as long as you're willing to always face and feel and not run away from yourself.
Is it always safe to face all the layers and
Yes,
everything?
always.
Yeah.
Always, always.
Mhm.
Always safe. We are never not safe. The perception of being in danger is local to Earth. It's something we learn because we're biological, and we see a world where the body can actually be killed. It's very extreme, right? I mean,
Right.
and we feel pain, physical pain. You know, if somebody stabs us, my goodness, that really hurts. So I'm afraid of that. So we live in a world where we're kind of conditioned, not only in our lives, but even in our collective consciousness, even over the course of thousands of years of evolving in this world, we live with the idea of danger very deeply. But truly, there is nothing that is actually harmful to us, who we really are, to our spirit. We can't actually be harmed. We may experience lots of pain temporarily. We may even be deeply damaged human personality for a while. That's possible. Many people get very damaged. But who we really are cannot truly be damaged. Who we really are is always, it's always free and full of all life with a capital L. And we always are healed in the end. There's no such thing as true damage. So because of that, when pain arises, we don't need to be afraid of any of it.